What's up everyone, Soldier First Class here. In today's mission, I'm about to show you one of the most broken mechanics in the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. Full disclosure, this setup is so broken, From Software might already be working on a patch for it, but until then, let's just enjoy it. We'll be taking a look at the Lightning Perfumer build that's absolutely shredding bosses and enemies in seconds, and you only really need a few things to get it set up. If you enjoy this build guide and other Elden Ring and Soulsborne content, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn those notifications to all so you never miss an upload. Let's get right into it. Shadow of the Erdtree has 8 new weapon types added to the game, with one of those weapon types being the all-new Perfumer bottles. We used to only have consumable versions, but now you can actually fight like those annoying bastards from Landell. So for this build, you only need a few things, and anything else can either be your normal buff routine or just talismans that help boost this build, or even just your defenses. This build does leave you slightly vulnerable, so you may want to run some damage negation if you're not comfortable with close quarters combat. I'll be providing my talisman setup, but you can mix and match to fit your playstyle as well. I've already found these items, but I will give the exact location they're in so you can grab them too. Starting off, you'll want to find the Lightning Perfume bottle, which scales off of strength, dexterity, and faith and has low requirements for each. This can be found northeast of the Cerulean coast side of Grace. Follow this route and it'll be laying on a corpse in the water, but be careful as the lightning goats here can be very dangerous. Keep in mind, lightning also works really well in water environments, so something like this against Rolana is going to work wonders. Next, you'll want to find the Rolling Sparks Ash of War. From the High Road cross side of Grace, ride north until you get through the campsite, and then go up the hill on the right. Once you're past the Perfumers, you'll find a scarab flying in the air, which contains the Ash of War. Snipe it out of the air and destroy it to get the Rolling Sparks Ash of War. And that's it. Those are the only 2 things you need to get started. But it's time to talk about the setup. Place Rolling Sparks in the Lightning Perfumer bottles. Then for your talismans, I went with Lightning Scorpion Charm for a 12% increase in lightning damage, Perfumer's Talismans for an added 20% damage boost with Perfumer bottles, Ritual Sword Talisman for a 10% increase in attack power while at full health, and then Shard of Alexander for an extra 15% damage for skills. Like I said, you can substitute whatever talismans make you feel the most comfortable. This is just what I went with. For your Flask of Wondrous Physic, you can do a few things here, but one that's absolutely necessary in my opinion is the Lightning Shrouding Crack tier. This adds a 20% increase to lightning attacks and stacks with the Lightning Scorpion Charm. For the second one, you can do whatever fits your playstyle, but if you want a little extra boost on your scaling, feel free to use a corresponding Knot Crystal tier that gives you an extra boost to your scaling stat of choice. Now that we've got the build itself out of the way, let's discuss the strategy. With this build, you'll want to do a normal buff rotation outside of a boss arena's door. Then do not lock onto them, I cannot stress that enough. For this to work, you need to be aiming your Ash of War at the ground. The hitboxes stack on top of themselves, and that's why we're getting such devastating damage. Get in close, make sure it's safe, and then fire off your Ash of War at a boss's feet when you get a window of opportunity for insane damage. Some bosses in the DLC can even be one-shot with this build, so as long as this doesn't get patched, you're going to be destroying everything in your path. You can take down a Furnace Golem in seconds with this method, and an example on the screen, I'm not even using the Wondrous Physic boost or optimized setup. But don't just take my word for it, let me show you on a couple bosses. Look how much damage I do in one move on this knight, and now just how quickly I melt this giant bear. This Ash of War is absolutely busted. Hopefully this guide has helped you get set up and ready to melt bosses in the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. If you enjoyed this build guide, be sure to light the bonfire on that like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications set to all so you never miss an upload. Thanks again for watching, I'm Soldier First Class, and I'm on to the next mission. Later, guys.